So, section two. Section two is just more serious. It is about newborn reflexes. I guess you are kind of familiar with just different types of reflexes. We have crawl, we have a step reflex, we have tonic neck reflex, but my fave is grasp reflex. Whenever I'm just trying to do that, and the baby, like the newborn, gonna just grasp my hand. I feel like it is so cute. But those reflexes, they are innate behaviors. You already know the concept of innate behaviors from your chapter one and from your test one. You know that it is like some sort of similar common behavior in all like different types of species. There are going to be some innate behaviors in just each of them. So because they are essential to survival and they are a good sign for just understanding that whether like the baby is just developing normal or not, because like absence of one of these reflexes may actually tell you a lot about brain development of your child. Here is a video, watch that carefully and try to understand the mechanism and the performance of um, reflex, and try to actually understand at least two reflexes by the end of the video. I actually have four of them here. You can also find more in your book. Number one is rooting reflex. It is just whenever baby trying to just find mom's nipple to just have some food, milk. Another one is palmar reflex. It is just grasping in response of pressure. Um, Another one is Moro reflex. It is just it is like some sort of yoga action whenever like they are actually thrusting their arms and legs outward and trying to arch back. I won't try to do that now here and put the video in public to just make fun of myself. No, no, I wouldn't do that. But just try to Google that and watch that because it is so cute. And the last one that I bet everyone is so familiar is just a stepping reflex. Whenever we are just actually holding them, they actually trying to mimic some sort of motion of walking, which means that they are actually biologically are programmed to do a stepping from the first place. There are some innate and also congenitally organized behaviors. They are different from reflexes. They are in a separate category because they are not like that kind of responses specific to only one stimuli, and because they actually gonna be maintained over time. For example, reflexes gonna go away at some point. If you would do that in front of me, if you would actually put your index finger in front of me, I wouldn't grasp that. I mean, hopefully I wouldn't do that. But a baby, a newborn would do that. So it means like in adults' life, it just that kind of reflexes went away. Uh, but congenitally organized behaviors are still in us. For example, looking at different items in a room and trying to search and understand environment all the time. For example, whenever you are in a new environment, whenever you are driving, you are just trying to look and just understand and observe. Sucking, which means like responsive, I mean, some sort of responses to sensory event, and crying, which is a mean of communication. I mean, we have like different types of crying. I already mentioned that, for example, babies are hungry or angry or they have pain, but you can still see that sort of behavior in adult as well. Whenever we are emotional, whenever we are stressed, whenever we are angry, still we might cry. So that kind of congenitally organized behaviors wouldn't go away that easily. They're gonna stay over time, and that's the main difference of them with reflexes. One important point here is motor development. Before motor development, we have prehension, which means ability to use hand tools for eating, building, and exploring. There are going to be two principles for motor development. Motor development always going to be cephalocaudal, which means like from, like you can see here, from head to toes, from top to down. And it can be proximodistal, which means like from here, from the center to peripheral. Makes sense? Try to actually understand that because it is like the core principle in motor development, and we're probably going to talk about this more and more. Um, I have a question. Do you actually think like cultural influences might change the pattern of cephalocaudal or proximodistal? I don't know. You should actually put some time and thinking about that and check your book. Here's a video. It can help you to answer that question better. Watch that carefully. Um, Here is a question that I already asked you. This is the principle of the development, and you have to actually understand the meaning. One point about the cultural influences, which is so important, is our seeding, crawling, reaching, and so forth, gonna be genetically programmed. Like, is it like every child, every newborn, gonna have the same sequence of sit, then crawl, then reach, and then, for example, walk? How do you actually answer this question? Normally in an in-person class, I would just ask my students all the time. But the fun part is no, it is totally depending on the culture and cultural value. One of them might actually emerge earlier. For example, African infants generally sit, stand, and walk several weeks earlier than American infants because like their environment and like their rearing patterns actually encourage them to do so. Like they are most of the time in nature and they are really free to just do whatever they want. So they would just and they can see adults around them who do the same, so they can actually pick up that so fast and faster than Western children. Another point is dynamic system approach. It is actually going back to the idea of nature versus nurture. It says that for developing motor skills, sometimes nature is important and sometimes nurture, but all the time they're gonna just interact with each other and depend on the motivation to acquire the skill, depends on difficulty of the task and prior physical condition of the infant. They're gonna actually master the task faster. For example, if you would have a Down syndrome child, they do not have that kind of like physical skills and cognitive resources and also biological resources to just develop that kind of motor skills. So they might be a bit behind. Or if you would ask a 1-year-old to just running, which might be a difficult task for some of them, they might have some problem to pick up. So we have to be really dynamic whenever we are just trying to assess children.